Welcome everybody to our Science of Sunrise series. This is the science of sunrise, not necessarily the science of the sun. We're talking about within 30 minutes of the sun rising. There is magical science that will help you get better sleep and have deeper, more rejuvenating sleep, because almost all of our sleep, and therefore much of our modern day dis-ease, everything from, let's talk about cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and obesity, is linked to not getting enough sleep at night because of disturbed circadian rhythm. And we can fix all of this by learning a few key things. And one of those things is the science of sunrise. In today's episode, we're talking about two very critical things that you can do when you wake up. You want to be outdoors within 30 minutes. You can look up wherever you live on this earth what time the sun rises, and it's a different time all year round. So look up what time the sun rises where you live and be outdoors within 30 minutes of sunrise. That's not necessarily before sunrise, but from the time the sun rises to 30 minutes later is the critical time. Number one, be out there around that time, because later in the day, especially in the summer and fall, you will not receive the same benefits after the 30 minutes that you will receive within 30 minutes of sunrise. That's pretty special. Afterwards, ultraviolet comes into the sun. So during the sunrise time, there's almost no, and many times no, ultraviolet. So some people are afraid of the ultraviolet, and honestly that's due to skewed research, in my opinion, where they shine one wavelength of ultraviolet light on skin and then say that this had a damaging effect. Well, in natural sunlight, there's a plethora of different wavelengths of light, all working synergistically. They all work together for benefit. We're not just taking one wavelength of ultraviolet. Ultraviolet is a range of wavelengths. And I'm gonna make this up, but it's really close. It's somewhere between like 200 nanometers to 300 nanometers, like in that range is ultraviolet. There's three flavors of ultraviolet, A, B, and C. Those are different wavelength ranges that encompass the ultraviolet wavelength. Now, when you isolate one frequency and shine it on people, weird things happen, just like when you isolate something from nature. Like let's take the apple, for example. If you isolated the cyanide from the apple seed and then fed it to people in large quantities or even in small quantities, you would say there was a damaging effect. But if you ate an entire apple, including all the seeds, there would actually be a beneficial effect to eating the apple. So when we say that people should be afraid of the sun and stay out of the sun and that UV damages us, that may be a false impression based on isolating one specific wavelength and not all of them in total. And yes, of course, you still should practice safe sun exposure by getting just as much sun as you need to get all of the benefits and then covering up. Easy to do. Our ancestors all did it. So, science of sunrise. Number one, be outside within 30 minutes of sunrise. So from the time the sun rises to 30 minutes later. Number two, do not wear, during that time, glasses, sunglasses, or contacts. When you put something in front of you and the sun, it changes the wavelengths that your body and brain are perceiving. So for example, standing behind a window pane or standing behind a window, that will block the majority of the red and infrared light, up to 50%, and all of the ultraviolet light. So you're getting a distorted wavelength of light when you stand behind a window and when you wear glasses or contacts, because almost all glasses and contacts have UV coatings to block the UV light, and they also block some of the red and infrared from getting into your body. Our body is infinitely intelligent, and it's designed to read the wavelengths and intensity of sunlight to do very specific things in our body. And when we change the signal by decreasing the wavelength of some things and making a higher dose of other things that come through these lenses that we wear. It changes what happens biologically inside of us. That's something many people do not know about and have never been told, but the science is very clear on this. So when you get outside at dawn, you do not need to stare at the sun. You literally just need to be outdoors as it is rising. It does not matter where the sun is. You do not need to see it. You just need to be out at that time, because if your eyes are seeing, like right now, you don't see the sun in my camera, but you can see me. And that's because our eyes are picking up light. And if I'm outside like I am right now, as all of you could be during the dawn, you will get that light in your eye no matter where you look, as long as your eyes are open and as long as you're not wearing sunglasses, glasses, or contacts. Those are the two most important things you can do when you get outside at dawn. And that was video number 1 of the science of sunrise. Now, if you stick with us, I am going to take you through a journey through the various hormones and biological processes that benefit, are turned on by, or turned off by science of sun at sunrise. The sun is absolutely our friend if we know how to use it properly, and it can do all of the things that you want in your body. Anti-aging. It can reduce fine lines and wrinkles. All of these things that these devices and supplements and pills, we look for to do these things, you can do naturally, assuming that you're using these things properly. And then if you want to do some of those other things, they can actually be more effective if you're doing the natural, sunlight, energetic, biological things. If you are setting your biological processes up properly by getting natural exposure to sunlight at sunrise. Until next time, everybody, this is Thaddeus from Dreamwalkers, also known as the Why Guy, because I try to break all this down and explain it to you in a way that you can use it in your everyday life for better health and better sleep.